Hi everybody, I'm Deidre Anderson, author of the Troubled Billionaire series and one half of the book review duo D&J. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ding that bell so you can be notified every time I upload. Today we're going to be continuing in the Discover With Me series, and that is essentially where you follow me along while I show you and learn new things about self-publishing, right? The tools of self-publishing. Now, today the tool we're going to be talking about is Ingramspark. We're going to be discovering how to upload a book through Ingramspark, whether that be your ebook, your paperback, or your hardcover. The process is fairly similar, so we'll be going through the most popular one, which is the paperback version, and we'll be also letting you know about a free promo code you can use to bypass that upload fee on Ingramspark. Let's get to it. All right, so on Ingramspark, in order to upload your book, you have to get to the website. So the website you need to visit to do this is ingramspark.com. All right, so Ingramspark is essentially like Draft to Digital and KDP in the sense where it helps you distribute your paperbacks. One thing they do that none of the other does is your hardcovers. Draft to Digital doesn't do paperbacks yet, but they have a beta version that's in progress and should be available soon. But for right now, they are the only distribution channel that does hardcover, paperbacks, and ebooks widely. So they are in demand essentially, just as KDP. So they don't do a bunch of prints before it's ordered. So they print it when it's ordered and ship it out. To be honest, it's most popular for its paperbacks and hardcovers. Reason being, as we said with the Draft to Digital video, it is always more beneficial going directly to the individual outlets for royalty sakes when it comes to your ebooks. But if you are like me and you don't have the time to go to each individual outlet and you want to use a distribution channel, Ingramspark is a viable option. I chose to use Draft to Digital, but if you want everything in one place, you could essentially do your paperback, ebook, and hardcover through Ingramspark. Alright, now let's get to it. So the first thing you'll need to do is sign up, just as you did with the other two outlets. Now I've already signed up, but the signed up process is pretty similar. So you go hit sign up here and speed through that process and come on back when you're done. So for the sake of this video, I'll hit login. All right, now I'm seeing this page because I already have an account. I used it for Falling for Heat, my latest release. So let's click on titles. So while you're signing up, we'll go over a few things about Ingramspark if you're not already aware. Now, if you dream of getting your paperback titles and hardcover titles in bookstores, the popular bookstores or libraries, then using Ingramspark is one of the best options out there. Reason being, a lot of the brick and mortar stores trust Ingram. The Ingram name has been around for a long time now, and so they have built trust with the brick and mortar stores. So if you're looking to be into the brick and mortar locations, the libraries, the bookstores, then Ingramspark is your best bet. One of the biggest caveats of Ingramspark, however, is that uploading your title is not free. So when you log in, this is the page you'll see if you have no other books there. You'll see upload a title, right? Now you can see here, Dick, you can have a variety of choices. You can choose to only do your ebook. That will cost you $25. This is all in US dollars. If you're not in the US, do that conversion so you know what we're talking about here. Now, if you want to do your print book only, it's $49. If you want to do print and ebook, it's $49. Now, the two most popular options here are the print only and the ebook. As I said, most self-published authors currently use Ingramspark for their paperbacks and hardcovers. But I mean, depending on your situation, your choice here may be different. For the purposes of this video, we're going to go ahead and click print book only, because this will cover the hardcover or the paperback, and that's the most popular choice. Now, I will also be showing you a free promo code that can get you to do this for free between now and December 31st. So again, you have to stick to the end for that one, because we'll be talking about it when I get to the payment page. Okay, now let's go forward. So we've decided to do our print book through Ingramspark. Now here is the second question. It's essentially asking if you're ready. Do you have your files ready, or are you just going through to get your links? What are you doing here, right? Now, another important thing to note about Ingramspark is they do allow you to do pre-orders for your print books. That's not available currently. You can't do that on KDP. Draft Digital doesn't even do paperbacks yet, right? So that's a major plus for Ingram. You can do pre-orders for your print books through Ingramspark. However, you need to have your files uploaded by the time they tell you, because if you do not, then whatever you upload as a sample will get printed and sent to your customers. Please, please, please take note of your dates. Get those files to them ahead of time, because if you miss that date, you're in for some problems. Also, if you miss that date and it goes out, there is a fee that you have to pay for every single change you want to make. So please bear that in mind. It's not a free platform as it was with KDP or Draft Digital. There are fees associated. So be sure you're ready. When you say, yes, all my files are ready, be sure that your files are actually ready. All right, let's continue. Okay, so next you're going to essentially select what you have, right? So if they're asking you again, they're making sure if your PDF is ready, you tick that, and if you're sure your cover or your print jacket, if you're doing a hardcover, is ready, you tick both these buttons and you continue. All right, what do you want to do? Is it that you're only printing this book for yourself? Is it going to be a personal thing that you give out to your family members, or are you actually going to be printing and distributing it to sell to bookstores? We're going to assume that we're being the independent publishers here and we want to have it in bookstores, so we're going to select option 1. Okay, so continue. Alright, so here we are going to basically fill out information as we would with Draft Digital or KDP. Let's just fill it out as we would for Falling for Heat. So we're gonna go Falling for Heat. Alright, language is English. Alright, so here again, you need to have an ISBN. You can't rely on them giving you an ISBN because that service isn't available as of right now. So if you click on it, they'll tell you what an ISBN is, and they'll also let you know that you need to have one. Now, if you don't already have one, as we discussed in the previous videos, you can purchase one through Boker if you're in the States. If you're in Canada, if you're a Canadian resident or citizen, you can sign up with the Canadian program to get your ISBNs for free. I am not 100% sure where you get it if you're in Europe or the UK, but check with your local agencies, do a quick search, and you'll be able to find where you can get your ISBN, and you can usually buy them in packages. So once you have your ISBN, you enter it here. Okay, because my title is already up for the purposes of this video, we're just going to enter random things here. But remember, you need to get an ISBN, so it needs to be 13 digits. All right, and let's move on. So yes, we own the rights to this. They're coming up to make sure that you do actually own the rights. We don't want you to, if you're republishing a public domain book, remember the public domain stuff, those stuff that were written back in the early 1900s and before. And if the author has unfortunately passed for more than 50 years, then that would be in the public domain for publishing. Now, if that's what you're publishing, let them know, because the royalties and the procedures are different. But yes, we did in fact write this one ourselves. So you just read through and answer the questions. They're essentially asking if anything was copied from the web, if anything was taken from a famous company, brand, or if something else that you're using that was written by somebody else, but some other famous company, but they gave you the license, right? Or if you have any images that you didn't pay for. Remember, when you're doing your covers, guys, don't just do a Google search. You need to purchase the images you're using. They need to be stock images, or you need to get permission to use it via licensing. So yep, we didn't do any of these things. Alright, so then we're going to go ahead and answer. No, my title does not include any of the above, because it doesn't. We got our own images, we wrote our own content, it wasn't copied and pasted from anywhere, and we got licenses for all the stock images used. So yep, we're going to continue. Oh, okay, we have to supply a valid Isbn. Alright, 1 second, let me just get the Isbn from our last upload. Alright, so we're just going to use the same one here. Hopefully it won't tell me it's a duplicate, because it is. If it does, I'll just go through the one we have already. But okay, let's continue. Come on, computer, cooperate. Okay, moving along here, the author, you're going to enter your contributors. So the author name would be yourself. In this case, it would be Deidre Anderson. Alright, if you have any other contributors, you can put it there if you're co-writing the book, or if you want to give a shout out to your illustrator or your graphic designer or your editor, then you'll put that there. Moving down here, you go to categorize your title. So you're going to select your imprint. Your imprint is essentially your publisher. Who are you publishing under? Are you publishing as yourself, or if you're publishing as a company name, then you'll go ahead and select this here. It's essentially who your ISBN is registered to. So if it's registered to yourself, then you're your own publisher. If your ISBN is registered to a company here, then you put the company name that you're publishing under. Alright, now the subjects, again, as with Draft to Digital, it is the shelf that you want your book to sit on. It's your bookshelf. So this book is a romance novel. So you can essentially search for that, and it will give you, well, it was supposed to give you, it's not working today. Okay, so we'll do this the long way because it didn't do it for us. So let's search for romance. Romance would be under fiction, so you search through fiction. Essentially, if my computer would cooperate, you're supposed to put, like, narrow your search by entering what you want to narrow it from here. Like, for example, let's put billionaires. Hopefully that works. There you go. So I'm not sure why it wasn't working initially, but yeah, so this is how you narrow your search. So this is billionaire fiction, so you select that as our subject. Now you want to be very, very careful. Remember, these go in order, just as with Draft to Digital. So the one that's most likely to be the shelf that your book sits on, you want that to be first, and then you can add others, because some bookstores may only choose one shelf. These are brick and mortar places, so they may only sit your book on one shelf. So you want to put your book on the shelf that is most likely to be seen in. All right, let's move on. We'll select one more category. Let's say clean and wholesome. Clean and wholesome. Perfect. It's not YA, so we'll put it in general, clean and wholesome here. Perfect. We'll just use 2 categories for now. Let's scroll down. All right, so now you want to select your audience. Now this is essentially telling who's your book marketed to. Is it a textbook? Is it marketed to children? Is it a new adult book, or is it an adult book? It's an adult. It's an adult book. It's a romance book. So we'll go ahead and click general. Remember, it's not, you do see YA young adult for 13 to 18. It's not asking the age of the characters in your book. It's asking who they should market your books to. So please, please, please remember, select your audience and don't use your characters as a judge for it. Alright, so it's who you want reading your book. Is it for adults? If it's for adults, you can put general. If it's a textbook, you select the age appropriately. Alright, moving on. Okay, so you want to have your description here. Again, you would enter your description that you already have designed for your book. So just enter a brief sentence here. This is a tutorial for self-publishing through Ingramspark. Perfect. Alright, so we'll use, it has to be a minimum of 200 bytes. Alright, so that's not going to work for us. So click shout out. Let's find our book on Amazon and copy the description from there. To make it easier. Oh look, recently viewed. I view my book a lot. Alright, let's go here. Let's copy this. Shameless plug. This is my latest release, Falling for Heat. It's a clean billionaire romance and it's currently available on most wide platforms. So if you haven't yet read that, get on it. Alright, so we're going to paste our description in here. Alright, another great thing is that you can format your description how you want it from here. So if you want this to be bold, you can make it bold here. If you want it to be in italics, you can do that from here too. Alright, let's put this part here in italics. Alright, so however you want your description to look like, that's what you do. You do it from here. This will show you a direct glance of what it will look like on the, so not in the brick and mortar stores, because in the brick and mortar stores they'll actually pick your book up and read the back matter, right? Read what's on the back cover. What you want is essentially for like the Barnes and Noble or the stores that also have a digital storefront. You want to set this for them to find your book. Perfect. All right, moving on. Keywords. So just as before, I won't go in much details for this because we did cover this in the past 2 videos. I'll drop links for you above and below for those videos so that you can watch those if you haven't already. But we'll just drop some keywords in here related to my book. These aren't the actual keywords I used. I don't remember what the actual keywords I used were, but do your research and find keywords that would take people to your book. So they're essentially terms that people would search for to find your book. So we do billionaires, we'll do clean romance, we'll do billionaire romance, we'll do drug dealers, secret identities. Okay, so we'll stop there. Remember, you want to, and read, separate them with semicolons. All right, so after you've done that, remember you need to be sure that you're putting the keyword you want to be used mostly towards the beginning, because there will be outlets that only use 1, 2, or even 3 of these, right? I tend to aim for 5, but put them in the order of relevance to your book. All right, now there are some more fields that you can go ahead and fill out if you have a shorter description, but it's optional, so we'll leave it out for now. Let's click continue. I knew this was going to happen. Okay, this is already in use. Let's, if it doesn't work, then I'll have to grab an Isbn from, okay, let me just grab another Isbn. Give me a quick minute here. I'll grab an Isbn from one of the books I had published previously. Let's grab something from Conceived by Heat. Let's go with Ignited. Okay, once this opens, I'll put the Isbn and we'll be able to move on. I figured it wouldn't work because it was already on the platform. Just figured we'll give it a go. Alright, let's scroll down. We'll copy this one here. Alright, here's an Isbn we haven't used on the platform yet. Let's go down and click continue. Alright, so now we've moved on from the title info. Let's move on to the print info page. So on the print info page, you're essentially entering the information about your book, the external copy. So you want to put the size of your book. My books are all 5.25 by 8. Alright, and then you essentially, just as you would be going through an ebook, you pick the particulars. So this is going to be in black and white. Alright, I like creamed pages, so I like cream pages. Sorry. So we'll pick cream. And it's a paperback. Perfect bound. So you'll note here that you didn't even get the option to have a hardcover. That's because of the size that I selected. Now, most hardcover books are 6 to 9. That's the most common one. So if you had selected 6 to 9 or a size that hardcover books are generally in, then you would have had the option here to select hardcover, right? But we're going with paperback. We're keeping it simple. So if you're doing a hardcover, however, you just pick the size of your hardcover, you pick hardcover, and you'll get the same options to go down. So we're doing paperback. We want to do perfect bound. Only option there anyways. We're doing gloss for this one. Alright, now how long is your book? If you don't know the page count of your book here, you can, if your book is already on Kobo, you can go there. If you have a PDF of your file, you can just enter the rough page estimate from the top. Now I know my book is about 375 pages, so I'll put that here using the size that I selected. Alright, and let's go down. Remember, this is not the ebook, this is the page count of your formatted paperback or hardcover copy. So yeah, and then down to the part of the process that everyone likes to see, the royalties, the money. So we'll go ahead and you select the price you want your book to sell for here. So paperback books, my paperback books are being sold for $15.99. So if you want to do it for $8.99, you could. You put $8.99, $14.99, whatever you want to put it there. You put it the price here. Then discounts. Brick and mortar stores typically expect to get a 55% trade discount, right? This allows them to buy the book for a lower cost so that they can resell it for retail price. So go ahead and select the 55%. If you want to play around with the discounts that you give, you can. If you're set on the $8.99 price and you want to keep your print book at $8.99, then you could always go down and try to enter a lower discount. But it's been pretty much proven that most bookstores prefer to get the larger discount. That gives them the best chance of getting the higher profit from selling your book at retail price, or even offering sales and discounts on their side as well. So we'll stick to 55% at right now, and we see here for the size of our book, if we sell it for $8.99, we'll be at a loss. We wouldn't be making a profit. So let's increase that here. Let's increase it to say $12.99. Then you're still at a loss. So let's go to $14.99. Okay, so at $14.99, you see you're making 88 cents per book. So play around with the cost here to figure out how much you actually get. Now the return column. A lot of bookstores, especially if you're new, they want to know that if they buy your book, if they go ahead and go on a limb and order your book, they can return it if it's not sold. Sort of like a consignment type of deal. So if they return, they want to they have that freedom to return your book if it's not sold. If you don't want to do that, if you want all sales to be final, go ahead and click no. But as I said, if you're new to the industry and you're not really popular, most bookstores want to know they can return your book. So go ahead and pick either yes deliver. If you click yes deliver, they'll have the books, the return books, shipped to you if you have the resources to collect those books and sell them yourself or distribute them yourself. Perfect, you can do that. For now, we'll click yes destroy. Now the books will be returned. We will still be responsible for covering those returns, but Ingramspark will go ahead and destroy the books. They'll use it to their own devices. They'll probably be burnt at the stake, burning your books at the stake. They'll probably be burnt or discarded, but you won't need to do that. Ingramspark will take care of that for you. So we'll go ahead and click yes destroy there, and we'll fill this in for the rest. We'll fill this in for the rest of the columns, and then we'll continue. Alright, so now we filled in all the prices and we've gone ahead and checked all the royalties we'll be getting. So if a bookstore purchases your books at these prices with this discount and this setup, this is the compensation you'd receive from each market. All right, now it doesn't look like a lot. That's because it's not, but it adds up. All right, it adds up. So let's move along. Publishing isn't a get rich quick scheme, guys. It's going to take work. You're going to have to settle for getting like 88 cents for each book sold, unless you want to price your book at ridiculous prices. So think about that the next time you're buying a book, right? The author is only getting like say 88 cents or less in some cases. So let's move along. So now we're going to the print options, right? So we want to enable a look inside for the online entities that do end up listing our book. All right, this is not large print, and it isn't right to left. Right to left is like if you were publishing like a manga or those agent-based graphic novels that goes from right to left instead of the traditional left to right. Let's move along. The release date. Now this is crucial. If you're doing a pre-order, it'll be updated in the future, but remember, let's just select a date in the future so you know what I'm saying. Say we're publishing this on Christmas. Don't. That's a terrible date to publish. But if you were, right, so if you go ahead and publish this on Christmas date, if your on sale date is different, then you'll enter that there, but we'll go ahead and continue here. All right, now if you're doing it in advance, you need to have your book files ready by a certain date, right? It's generally a couple of weeks before, especially if you're publishing on Christmas Day, then you probably need to get your book in at least 3 weeks ahead of time just to be safe. All right, but we're going forward to that one. So we need to upload our interior, which is your actual book file. So again, we'll go ahead and for search for falling for heat. Yeah, falling for dot here. No spoilers issuing at all. Oh, the second book, it will be out soon, but there will be no spoilers until then, guys. So we are looking for the interior. These are my covers. So we want the interior. We'll go ahead and upload. Oop, just click on it and click open. We're uploading that here, and we'll do the same for the cover. So my cover is out here. Let's go with this one. I think that's the right one. Yep. No, Ingram. Okay, so this is the right one. So let's upload this here. We wait for it to upload. So this part is just like as with KDP. It's going to upload, and then they're going to just do like a brief check to be sure that everything is within the font is there, your document is legible, everything is within the bounds of printing for your cover. Just minor checks. After you go ahead and submit, just as a KDP, they'll also do like a manual review. But we'll let it go and upload. Now this is what I was saying earlier. Now if you didn't have your files ready, right, and this was a pre-order, these would be it would be a sample cover and a sample interior to move on with the process. Now you'd have to be sure that at least, especially if you plan on publishing on Christmas Day, I wouldn't even recommend it. It's too much of a crazy time, right? Holidays are generally taboo for publishing. Unless you're publishing something severely Christmas related, and even then I would say publish it before and not on the actual day. But if you are going to publish in the Christmas period, you want to be sure you have your files available, the correct files, at least 3 weeks or even a month out, because you want to be sure your correct files are printed. You don't want to have it printed before the time because of the Christmas season, or your books being delayed or sent out, the wrong files being sent out to your clients, because that to your customers, because that has happened to people, guys. So please avoid that dilemma. All right, let's continue now that it's been uploaded. We're almost there. You see we have 2 more pages. So perfect, or title has no errors. That's just the small check I said that it would be doing. So it's basically validating it. So it went through our content. The content file has no errors. The title of it matches the cover. We got some errors on our cover, but let's see what type of errors they are. It's the color profiles. Alright, now I don't know why this is coming up. I did a cover myself, so I do know for a fact that it is in CMYK and that it's set up perfectly for print. So we're just going to bypass this, but only bypass it if you're sure. If you worked with a graphic designer and you're not sure what any of this means, check with your graphic designer before. But because I did it and I know that it's legit, I'll go ahead and click I authorize them to proceed regardless of this. So I'm essentially taking the blame here. I'm saying, hey, I know it's okay, move forward. So if anything happens, Ingramspark has washed their hands clean. So let's continue. Alright, so this is the final page, guys, the payment page. This is where you go ahead and you do your upload fee. You cover your upload fee, right? So we see that for what we've gone through, it is essentially $49 because we selected the print fee. But as I promised you, there is a promo code that you can use between now and December 31st, right, to get the title fee for free. So that code is in all caps and it's free, FREE 2020. All right, and you go ahead and apply. All right, and if you realize the fee is recalculating, but it'll pop up at $0. All right, so if you want to get your book uploaded for free between now and December 31st, it's only valid for 2020, guys. Then for the latter part of 2020, that is, so it's effective now and will remain effective until December 2020. So if you want to use Ingramspark but you're not too sure about diving in and dishing out $50 ahead of time, go ahead and use the promo code. There are promo codes from time to time that you can utilize. There'll also be a promo code for NaNoWriMo, I'm pretty sure. So if you participate in NaNoWriMo, you may be able to get another promo code there too. But for now, you can use free 2020 to get your book, your title uploaded for free. So you go ahead and click I agree, and the next step would be to submit. Of course, I'm not submitting because these were duplicate files. It was just for the purposes of the tutorial, but that would be it. You'll click submit, your files will go off to Ingramspark to review, and they'll review it and send you an email when your book is live and available to be distributed. Now, that was Ingramspark. As you saw, it was pretty similar to Draft to Digital and KDP. The pro of Ingramspark is you can do pre-orders for your print books and that you can create hardcover books if you so desire. Alright guys, now I hope this was helpful for you. Go ahead and drop a like. Click that like button if you liked this content. It lets me know it's helping you and you like this content, and I'll continue doing it going forward. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. Anything I forgot, go ahead and drop it in the comments below as well, so it can help other persons viewing this video. And until next time, I'm Deidre Anderson. My book latest release, Falling for Heat, is currently available on all major platforms. It should also be coming to Scribd. It's in a few libraries as well. It's in Bibliotheca, and it's also coming to all the libraries near you. If you don't see it in your library yet, you can always go ahead and request it and they can order it for you. The same thing with your bookstore. If you go into your local bookstore and it's not currently there, just go ahead and politely ask if they could order it for you. You may have to pay upfront, but I'm sure they'll have no problem ordering you a copy. Alright, now that's all for today. Until next week. Bye!